Stop everything you're doing right now and don't keep scrolling, because what I'm about to tell you can't wait another second. There's an invisible clock running over your life, and at this very moment, only 90 seconds remain before a door that's been shut for years begins to move. You didn't end up here by chance, and the fact that your attention was captured right now isn't an accident of fate. There's a deep and urgent reason you're hearing this voice. Before this time runs out, I need to reveal to you what has been blocking your path and what the heavens have prepared for you, because something has already begun to happen in the unseen, and you are exactly the person who needed to hear this warning. Are you still with me? Pay close attention, because the sign you've been searching for is hidden in what you've been feeling lately. You've been noticing things no one else seems to see. Those early mornings when sleep slips away and you find yourself staring at the ceiling, feeling a tightness in your chest that has no name and no apparent reason. Those aren't symptoms of anxiety. They're invitations. They're moments when the silence around you turns into a channel. You've been feeling a tiredness that no rest can erase, a weight on your shoulders that seems to carry the whole world. And many times during your day you've had the sense that something important was just about to be said, but the sound vanished before it arrived. These aren't signs of weakness, my child. They're signs of preparation. What you feel is the alignment of your spirit with a frequency you couldn't reach before. It's the number of confirmation. Your fingers typing this are your spirit saying yes to the change that's knocking at your door. Type 777 and come back to me. I know that for a long time you tried to find answers in places that only gave you silence. You tried to follow paths that seemed right but only pulled you away from who you truly are. But look inside at what I'm going to show you now. Picture a great hearth, once the center of a warm home, but now cold and abandoned. What you see on top are only layers of ash, remnants of everything that burned in your past, the disappointments, the words that wounded you, and the times you had to stay quiet just to survive. Attention!
Do you feel like you're carrying an invisible weight? Your mind tired, your heart tight, anxious about tomorrow? That anguish, that fear of the future, the isolation. It seems like you're alone in this struggle, without hope. But deep down, you long for peace, for a new way of living, lighter and with unshakable faith. That's why I present The Path to Inner Peace, your daily guide to finding calm, faith, and courage. It's a 30-day journey, a daily devotional for a lighter, more confident, and purposeful life. And this transformation is already a reality for hundreds, as you see. Your story begins now. Secure your access now. Click the first pinned link in the comments.
You look at that ash and believe the fire is dead, that nothing remains. But the truth is, beneath that grey layer there's still a live ember. It never went out. It was only waiting for the right moment to be blown upon. The wind from above is blowing now, right at this instant, to sweep away the dust and let the flame of your essence light up the ground where you walk again. Can you feel that warmth starting to rise, heating the place that's been frozen for so long? If that image clicked into a place you can't even explain, type the words, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you what has just been touched. Type, "I see it," and come back to me. Now understand what's happening. You spent so much time taking care of everyone around you. You're the one who holds things up, who listens, who advises, who fixes. But who takes care of you when the lights go out and you find yourself alone with your own shadows? I see the times you smiled to hide the tears. I see the strength you pulled together so you wouldn't fall apart in front of those who depended on your steadiness. You've felt invisible many times, as if you were screaming for help in a desert where no one could hear you. But I'm telling you, with all the authority I've been given, this time of suffering in solitude has come to an end. What others tried to place on you, the weight they tried to give you to stop you from walking, All of that has lost its power. This isn't an empty phrase, it's a decree of protection over your life. Type and come back to me. You don't have to carry this burden alone anymore. The root of your pain is tied to an old memory of rejection, the feeling that you weren't good enough or that you didn't belong anywhere. But the truth is, you were designed to be a point of light. What you call a failure is really the scar of someone who walked through fire and survived. And that survival is your greatest asset. Keep walking with me, because now we're going deeper to the place where your identity will finally be called by name, so that you no longer doubt who you are in the eyes of the one who created you. Are you still with me? Take a deep breath and prepare your heart, because what comes next is the moment when you step into the place that has always been yours by right. Now I want to call you by name, but only you can tell me what it is. Not like filling out a form, but like placing your own name before the heavens to be seen, recognized, and called. Write your name and come back to me. Stop everything you're doing right now. Don't keep scrolling. Don't try to ignore what your spirit has already recognized. There's an urgency in the air, a countdown that isn't on the clocks on the wall, but in the invisible structure of your life. 90 seconds remain for the alignment you've begged for to finally take shape. And this time is the gap between your resistance and your release. You didn't end up here by accident or out of curiosity. This message is a direct call to your soul. Exhausted, it has finally found a resting place. There's something you need to know before this moment passes, something that is already moving in the unseen on your behalf, and you need to be ready to receive. You've been noticing signs, the insomnia that visits you in the early hours, the tightness in your chest when there's no apparent reason for sadness, that constant sense that you're waiting for something that never arrives. You wake up feeling like you've been fighting a battle while you slept. These aren't just physical symptoms, they're marks of a spiritual preparation. You are being refined. It's the number of absolute confirmation that you have been found. I see the ember that still burns beneath the ashes of your story. You've endured long winters, disappointments that nearly snuffed out the spark in your eyes, and today you feel like a lonely flame trying to survive in an empty courtyard. But that ember isn't dying. It's being preserved for the moment when the wind of destiny blows in your favor. What seems like the end of your strength is actually the moment your flame is ready to turn into a wildfire of purpose. If that image of the hidden ember beneath the ashes clicked into a place in your soul you can't even explain, type the words, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you the flame that has just been touched. I fully understand the weight you carry. You are the pillar of a house where everyone leans, but no one asks if the pillar is tired. You hold up smiles, you solve problems, you anticipate others' pain, and at the end of the day, you retreat in silence to cry what no one can see. You've thought countless times that maybe you weren't born to be happy, that your role is just to serve, to carry, to endure. But what you call loneliness, the heavens call exclusivity. You were chosen to carry a light that disturbs the shadows around you, and that's exactly why you feel so targeted. The enemy doesn't attack what has no value, and he's been trying to distract you with exhaustion so you won't see the armor that has already been placed over you. This isn't just a phrase, it's a decree of protection that cuts every line of envy or curse that has been thrown onto your path. Type and come back to me. The root of all this pain you carry comes from a posture you inherited, a need to prove your worth through sacrifice. But the secret of your turnaround isn't in doing more, it's in unlearning. You have to let go of the ropes you're holding out of fear that everything will collapse. Nothing will collapse because the support doesn't come from your hands, but from the one who leads you. You are being invited back to your essence, to the place where you were just a child being cared for, before the world demanded you become an exhausted adult. Your miracle isn't something you build, it's something you allow. Now, at this very moment, I want to call you by name, but only you can tell me what it is. not like filling out a form, but like placing your own name before the heavens to be seen, recognized and called by the Creator. Look around you, at least with the eyes of your mind. Someone came to your mind just now, didn't they? Someone you know who also lives with that same tiredness in their eyes. Someone who strives, works, takes care of everyone, yet lives an invisible life to others. Someone who seems to carry the weight of the world, and whose face appeared while I was speaking. Don't keep this word to yourself. Send this message to that person right now. If you felt that what was said here is a truth, your spirit has already been whispering. Let your amen be the like, that gesture without words that seals our agreement that what was said right. Don't stop now. We still have the final seal of your identity. Feel the presence, feel the air change, feel that the cycle of scarcity is being broken before your eyes. You are no longer alone, you never were, but now you finally know it. What has been revealed cannot be undone. Stay with me until the end, because the confirmation you've been waiting for is being sealed right now. Don't keep scrolling. Don't try to look away, because time is not on your side, and only 90 seconds remain for this cycle of uncertainty you've been going through to be interrupted. There's a reason you're hearing this at this exact moment, and it's no coincidence. Something has begun to move in the unseen. A gear that had been stuck for months has just turned, and the Archangel has brought me a word of warning that cannot be ignored. Do you feel that chill down your spine, or that tightness in your chest that appears when the truth is in front of you? It's a call, the sign you've been asking for, that small proof that your effort isn't in vain, has finally arrived. Pay very close attention, because your life, from now on, will never be the same. You've been living days where physical exhaustion is just a reflection of a tiredness the soul carries. You wake up often in the middle of the night, for no apparent reason, feeling like someone is calling your name, or that there's a pending conversation between you and the heavens. You feel that people around you have pulled away, or that conversations that once made sense now seem empty, as if you're speaking a different language. That isn't isolation, my child. That's alignment. Your spirit is being prepared for something greater, and so the distractions have to clear out of the way. It's the number of confirmation. Think with me of the image of a live ember hidden under a thick layer of ash. The ash represents the disappointments you've accumulated, the fear that kept you from acting, and that voice that at some point said you weren't capable. But the ember didn't die. It's only waiting for a breath. The air is changing now so that this fire can burn again. You've always been the one who holds the structure together, the person everyone runs to when the world falls apart. But who holds you? How many times have you smiled at the world while carrying a weight no one would see? You wonder if you were born only to carry others' burdens, if your destiny is to be the pillar that never rests. I tell you now, your sacrifice has been seen. Your loyalty has not gone unnoticed by the eyes that watch everything. And because you are faithful in little, the time of your harvest has begun. If you feel that opposing forces have tried to bring you down, that there has been envy or words spoken against your house to stop your path, know that they have lost their power. This isn't just a phrase, it's a decree of protection that cuts every bond of negativity that has dared to surround you. Type and come back to me. The solution isn't to run harder or push yourself to exhaustion. The solution is to return to your root, to the essence that was designed before any problem arose. You need to stop trying to prove your worth to those who don't have eyes to see your light. Your true identity doesn't come from what you do, but from who you are. And that's why in this moment of intimacy, I want to call you by name, but only you can tell me what it is. Don't stop now, because now I want you to claim who you truly are. Take one more deep breath and type slowly the words, I am the chosen one, not as a wish, as a confirmation. It's you recognizing what you already are and accepting that your time of waiting is over. You are covered. You are guarded. You are being led to a place of abundance that you can't even picture in your mind. Right now, all over the world, hundreds of people are hearing the same call and connecting to this same truth, becoming part of a chain that cannot be broken. This is no ordinary message, not a video you stumbled upon while looking for distractions for your weary spirit. The Archangel showed me the urgency you carry, and he specifically asked me to tell you that a sign has just arrived. There's a counted time for you to align your heart with what is about to descend upon your life, and that time is now. If you've been feeling that your walk has been heavier than it should, if the last few days seem like an exhausting repeat of problems that never resolve, it's because you were trying to carry alone a burden that should have been handed over long ago. I'm here to tell you that your cycle of waiting is being interrupted at this very instant. You will recognize every word of mine as if you were reading your own diary, because what I'm about to tell you about your life is exactly what you have kept inside, hidden from everyone, even from those who sleep beside you. It's the number of confirmation, the seal that you understand. This conversation is not an accident, but a destined meeting. You need to understand that the tiredness you feel isn't weakness. It's the accumulation of someone who guards a live ember under thick ashes, trying to protect a dream the world tried to snuff out. That ember is your essence, your true strength that still burns, even though the surface seems cold and lifeless. It's as if there is a hidden flame, a light you insist on keeping alive even when everything around suggests otherwise. If that image of the flame under the ashes clicked into a place you can't even explain, as if I were describing what happens inside your chest, type the words, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you the conviction that you are no longer operating in the dark. I know your human dimension. I see the effort you make to smile when all you want is to collapse, the way you take responsibility for everyone's peace while no one asks who takes care of yours. You've been living days where the question, "Was I even born for this?" echoes in your mind, and I'm here to tell you that this question is actually a call. You are not a survivor by luck. You are a chosen one, being refined through pain to carry an authority few could bear. But hear me well, what tried to bring you down, the shadows that haunted your house, and the voices that tried to undermine your confidence, they no longer have any power over your tomorrow. Type and come back to me. You need to return to your original essence, unlearn fear, and let go of the control you never had. And now I want to call you by name, but only you can give me that privilege, not as a wish, as a confirmation. You are covered. You are guarded. The call that now resounds in your consciousness is not just an echo of something you've heard before, but the final vibration of a preparation that has lasted years. What you call coincidence, the unseen plane calls a meeting point. Do not ignore what your chest is screaming at this moment, because the urgency I feel as I speak to you reflects the haste with which the pieces of your destiny are moving. A net of protection is being woven around you right now, invisible to eyes that seek only the material, but perfectly clear to your intuition, which has finally stopped hiding. You spent so long trying to decipher the silence from above that you forgot that the answer is actually the very clarity you feel when you accept who you are. The tiredness you brought here was the necessary filter to separate what is essential from what was just noise on your journey. Don't try any longer to justify what you feel, for your sensitivity is not a factory defect, but the precision instrument that lets you pick up frequencies others don't even suspect exist. The path will open, not because you forced the door, but because you finally stopped knocking on places that weren't your home. The calm that begins to settle over your mind at this moment is not fleeting. It's the sign that the storm that tried to shatter your soul has lost its fuel. You are being led to a stage where effort turns into flow, and where the doubt that has so plagued you gives way to the unshakable conviction that every step you've taken, even the ones that seemed empty, was part of a design far greater than your own understanding. What was planted in tears is now beginning to sprout, and the harvest no longer depends on your anxiety, but on the patience you developed while waiting to be seen. Hold this posture of surrender, because what is being sealed within you at this moment is the authority over your own time, over your own choices, and above all, over the peace that no one can take from you. Stop everything you're doing right now, for 90 seconds of clarity remain. Clarity you've waited your whole life to find. Don't scroll. Don't look for distractions, because this message didn't reach you by chance. It's the result of a frequency you unknowingly tuned into through every tear shed in secret. There's an urgency in the air, a vibration announcing that the cycle of waiting is being interrupted at this very moment, and the time left is enough for you to change the course of your story. You've been feeling undeniable signs. Waking up at the same early hour, a weight on your shoulders with no physical explanation, an emptiness that seems to grow even when you're surrounded by people. All of this is, in truth, your spirit preparing for a leap. It's the number of divine confirmation. What you carry is an ember that, though it seems covered by the ashes of old disappointments and fears, still holds the heat of your true essence. You were taught to hide that light, so as not to disturb others, but the ember is there, ready to ignite a new purpose. Writing these words seals within you the vision of what has just been touched. You have held up the world of everyone around you, acting as the pillar that can never waver. But who holds you when the door closes and silence arrives? You wonder if you were born only to be the foundation, while you see others thrive. I know your exhaustion. I know the nights when you doubted your own journey. But hear me, none of it was in vain. This isn't an empty phrase. It's a decree of protection against everything that tried to delay your awakening. Type, and come back to me. Now I want to call you by name, but only you can tell me what it is. Write your first name in the comments. It's the moment to claim your identity. Someone came to your mind just now, didn't they? That face of someone you know, someone who has been fighting so hard, who lives exhausted and still tries to smile so no one worries. That person needs to hear this call as much as you do. Send this message to them now, as a gift of hope. If anything here touched the truth you were holding, make your like an amen without words, a silent agreement that what was said right. You are covered. You are guarded. You are being led to a path where weight turns into lightness. Right now, all over the world, thousands of people are receiving this same recognition, forming a chain of light that no one can break. You are part of this lineage. You belong to this force. It is sealed. Attention!
Do you feel like you're carrying an invisible weight? Your mind tired, your heart tight, anxious about tomorrow? That anguish, that fear of the future, the isolation. It seems like you're alone in this struggle, without hope. But deep down, you long for peace, for a new way of living, lighter and with unshakable faith. That's why I present The Path to Inner Peace, your daily guide to finding calm, faith, and courage. It's a 30-day journey, a daily devotional for a lighter, more confident, and purposeful life. And this transformation is already a reality for hundreds, as you see. Your story begins now. Secure your access now. Click the first pinned link in the comments.